Okay, and now we're back in our little dragon world like thing, and I'm gonna slowly begin rebuilding, and I'll just run around a little bit and then see how it works. The seems to be meh. Had a heck of a time getting this sorted, but anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some experiments after I get this. This looks pretty good, and this is on the maximum settings, which it's a lot less. What do you call it? The blur. Remember that blurry effect? It looked like I was having lots of lag when I really wasn't. It was just it's the software that was doing making it look like that. It was weird. Now it's a little more realistic the way it blurs and comes back in. Maybe it's just a little more optimized. Yeah. Things look good though, eh? Yeah, yeah. So now I'll have to go and retarget things, and I'll. What I'm going to be doing is a little experiment for a guy that's making a mod for Blender that's for Unreal. Excuse me. Which basically you export this white mannequin guy, who's the base dude for everything, and then you can put other meshes and other animations onto him and then bring him back in. Okay, so I'm going to be trying something like that and helping him do a little bit of whatever, if something's wrong or it doesn't work or, I'll just let him know what I'm doing and that's something where it's going to help everybody. And there's also talk of a female mannequin getting made and brought into the engine as default. Now that will come later. They just released this new version. There are things that are broken. There are really weird things that are going on, and like I don't think it's normal when I'm doing my shaders that it should take 9 gigabytes of RAM and or 9 gigabytes of RAM and 100% of my CPU for as long as it did, but I don't know. Didn't seem to take that long, but anyway. The next thing I'm going to be doing, I tried yesterday that seemed to it showed me an error and said that, this is not a grayscale PNG, even though I saved something as a grayscale PNG and opened it in Adobe and it said it was grayscale, and I did a bunch of other things too, right? Just to check and see if, and that was for a height map. And that was those things where I was making those little terrains and driving the buggy around and the jetpack and doing other experiments and, you know, joking around with silent scopers there and making that giant banana and all that other just stuff. You know, just stupid things. But I'm learning as I go, right? Like I can see how you have all this grass and and rocks and things and vegetation here. I now know how to do that rather nicely, or at least I won't say nicely. I'll start doing that a little more professionally, making it more like a realistic scene. I went and grabbed a whole bunch of the mega scans, like for trees and rocks and different textures. I grabbed a few of the game textures I was going to add to that one that had all those giant pillars and make it look like, what do you call it? Giant, like crazy sci-fi buildings, and that would take a fair bit of time to do that. However, the result would be a scene that would be out of this world. And I'd probably do that over the holidays. It's getting close to Christmas. We've got a couple days till Christmas here, so everybody have a good holiday and stay safe and whatever's bugging you, it'll get better. you know, can't be that bad. Well, I guess it could be, but you know, there's always something. You know. And you know how much fun the universe is? I just stay away from Twitter for a day. You know? I don't know, some random person come up and start talking Star Wars and everybody's all negative about it, so I just said, I there are more important things in reality, like the COPA stuff. And this person got triggered and just went, culture war. And I went, oh, really? And then she starts going on about how she makes money from YouTube and they help kids. I says, yeah, and Star Wars is kind of for kids, isn't it? And, you get yourself a $43,000 fine and all you're doing is harping about Star Wars. You're not going to be doing too well for those little kids, are you? Ding, 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 ding. Called it a conspiracy. COPA as a conspiracy. Do you believe that? Right? So I get a hold of this dude from this so-called Fandom Menace. They don't even know who this person is. So I'm like, how did you get it on my list? Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? We're all having a laugh now all of a sudden. Right? And it's like, this person suddenly started making about 6 accounts and trying to spam me with stuff. And I said, if you don't watch it, somebody's going to come at you with 94 different accounts. Okay, now you back off and piss off. You stupid. It's always people with weird hair color, isn't it? You ever notice that? It's like that dye seeps into their brain cells and starts mucking with the synapses in between the brain cells, getting all thick in there and gelling it all up like. Jeez. The punker movement died a long time ago, just so you know, eh? It's actually not cool to be looking like a freaking blueberry. I'm sorry, but I had to say that. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys go, and I'm just I'm just glad I got this to work. I mean, I was having all kinds of issues. The problem once you start modifying files like this is, and when you retarget this guy, you can't just drop files into where his directory is and start overwriting things too, eh? Because the engine, while you're running it, it's like it has this DRM that runs, and it'll corrupt files, okay? That's why this other one was wrecked, was because I don't know what they're doing. They're checking things when they don't need to be, and so I'm gonna go and delete that one, and I'll just keep as a reference all the things that I had in there, and I'll just bring them forth around. There are certain things that I should be able to move around and whatnot. But the maps, right? I can't just bring the base map in because then I'd have to bring all the other stuff in, and if I do that, it could wreck things. So, yeah, here we go. But anyway, the idea is to make many different worlds like this, have a little story in each one that goes on, or have a scene that's related to some story, and then you just carry it on. You do a little bit here, a little bit there, get some voice acting things going on there, right? Maybe rig the mouths so that their mouthies move, right? Like little things like that, right? This is where this Mr. Mannequin tools would come in handy, right? Because it saves anything that saves somebody time on doing things is a good thing, right? That's why I got some time to spare. Might as well help the guy out, you know. He doesn't charge for the tool, right? You know, he applied for the grant with Unreal as he was told to. So we'll see what happens. You know, if he gets something that really works well, they'll buy it off him, kind of, sort of. That's what the grant is kind of like doing. It'd be, here you go, bud. You know, like they really do need something for rigging with Blender to make it take off because it's the bottleneck where everything goes, right? You got Mr. Polygon guy there that wants to keep all the making textures to himself, right? And he bitches and complains that, you know, this is what's wrong with open source. I can't make any money. And then you got Unreal over there buying Quixel, and now I'm gonna be broke. I need help. Give me some money on Patreon, please. And I'm like, buddy, once someone learns how to make textures, they don't need you. You're there as a service for convenience. You're like Max Milk charging $5 for a carton of milk when if you wait, get up in the morning and go to a grocery store, you can get $2 at $2 less. It's I need it now. I gotta have it now. There it is. That's you, right? And there will be lots of people for that. That's the whole point. You know, these are these little things you need to think about, right? So now I get into I'm gonna try and move this 4.22 to the 4.241, the giant city thingamabobby thingy, and see what happens here. This will be trippy. Excuse me. Mm. Oh yeah. The biggest problem going from 4.22 or 23 to 24 with a height map like that and doing open areas is every time I put an object down, I'm having to rebuild the bloody lighting because of the new lighting system. Okay? In the 4.25, it goes into a cloud system. So then you're going to have to start rebuilding things so constantly that the workflow is going to be dragged right to a shitstorm. Stall. Okay? Like, there should be some ways to turn that junk off. And I like these special little effects and things too. They look pretty and yee. But when they affect workflow, turn it off for now. Just get the stuff in there. Let's see basically what it looks like. If it fits, if it could, where it goes, and then we turn on all the fancy pants stuff. You see? I gotta figure that out. I'll figure it out. Anyway, it's just more learning to come. Anyway, let's move forward here. Ooh. Let's move over there. Yeah. I notice I'm getting more frames per second too than when in this version. So something is better optimized for things. What is this? Oh yeah, that's that little pathway. Okay. Looks pretty good. Like I'm getting standing still 23 frames in OBS. When I turn it off, oh, there we go, 25. Right? So if I go up, if I turn this off, it'll go up to about 28 frames a second, which for my PC and setup, that's pretty good. I mean, in Guild Wars 2, which is very heavily optimized, and with all the lowest settings, I was getting about 40 frames a second, right? 45 on a good day. And that's with, and then until you get with 80 different people, and then you're down to like 10 frames when it really gets hardcore. And it used to be better. I mean, you would button mash when you got to a certain thing, and you just key combo it, and hopefully that your key stuff goes in and does whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go and play around with the height map stuff. I just wanted to show that this is more or less working. Look at that, eh? Not bad. Not bad on, let me see here. This is 20, so 8-year-old hardware. That's pretty good. Can you imagine if I'd have been doing something like this 8 years ago? People would have been going, you just wouldn't have been able to do it. The drivers wouldn't have been able to do it. Nothing would. Hmm. Even the water looks kind of cool, and the lighting coming through the trees and stuff. Yay! Yay! See the little bush on the bottom right here? See how it's moving? Even even the foliage is animated. Oh my god! I'm gonna go over and pet the tree, or the little fern there, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, have a good one, guys.